scrolling down my Twitter feed, like everybody was named Ass Tonight.
A variation of Ass Tonight.
Yeah.
And did it blow up because Alex Sherman then at that point said Ass Tonight?
Ass Tonight, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure that was the impetus. We were all very excied at finally.
I have all these memes saved from that, and there's one of like Black Pete saying, I didn't even realize there was Ass Tonight happening. And there's one that we John said.
Welcome to the Our Flag Means Fanfiction podcast. This is the second fandom lore episode, which is covering everything we didn't cover in episode 11, the original fandom lore episode. And this is episode 44. So
episode 11 sounds forever ago.
I know, right? On the show this week, we have Ringa-san.
Hello.
We have Irene Adler, and we have Tessa. And I was going to introduce Ringa-san as the Ultimate Con fan, but then I realized, like, all of you are the Ultimate Con fans.
By our powers combined.
Our mental illnesses compete every week.
We're taking over.
And I'm Carly Heath. First, you guys, what's the most gay pirate thing that's happened to you recently?
Oh, no. I mean, honestly, just the sheer amount of blood loss is very gay pirate.
Still.
Oh, fuck me, dude. Things falling out of my uterus that belong in a David Lynch movie. I was watching Hellraiser on Halloween, and I was just like, that looks familiar.
Ringo, what's the most gay pirate thing to happen to you recently?
So a couple weeks ago, I went on a trip to we were going absolutely nowhere in the middle of the state. It's pretty, but can sometimes be treacherous. So our point on this trip was to go to there's a bridge that was taken out by a tornado like 10 years ago. And
they just haven't fixed it, which is totally on brand.
It's not even that. It's like, it's a massive viaduct and this bridge is massive and it was taken out and they have now turned it into a tourist attraction. So you can walk like halfway out on the bridge and like look at the like gorgeous gorge that you're surrounding, which is, it's beautiful. And you can see like the bits of bridge down there that used to be. It's just like looking down on the bridge's skeleton.
This is what America has done. It's made tourist attractions out of its crumbling infrastructure.
Correct.
Capitalism at its finest.
It's true. And it's funny because this bridge was like a marvel of its time because it saved like all this time by creating a way to go across this big gorge where they couldn't, bring goods through. And now it wasn't useful anymore as much. So nobody cared that it fell. So now it's just like you can walk out on it. I walked about 10 steps and had a panic attack and had to leave. But
I'm glad it's not just me. I would be terrified.
No, I was like, I'm going to see what I can do. And I got like a little bit out and I was like, never mind. On our last night there, we stopped at a place to eat called Bob's Trading Post because I was like, this will be fun. It's called Bob's Trading Post. It has to be quaint. We went in and it was everyone that was in there knew each other. They were like, so where are you guys from? Like
outsiders.
Obviously, we were not from there. And we were like, oh, we're from Pittsburgh. And they're like, our waitress was like, what in the hell are you doing out here? And we were like, oh, we're just, sightseeing and whatever. And we stayed there. Like the restaurant was closing. We left. It was a Sunday night. We're in the middle of the woods. It's dark and we have no cell service. And I'm driving and all of a sudden the car starts to wobble. And I pulled over real quick and my tire has blown. We've been listening to like true crime podcasts and I specifically downloaded a bunch that are about people traveling in the woods and people on road trips. And
you're insane. I love it.
So my friend's like, oh my God, this is our horror story. This is the beginning of the horror story.
But clearly you survived.
Well, I did.
I was the final person.
It was crazy because like we literally had no cell service. We were like, we don't know what to do. I had a jack and a tire, but I don't know how to fucking do that. So, we're all like walking around and then like a car comes down the road and my friend's like, I'm going to flag it down. And I'm like, no, you're not. If they
we're going to die.
I was like, if they can stop, if they can help, they'll stop, but do not flag it down. So it pulls up next to us and it's our fucking waitress from the restaurant.
Oh, bless.
He's like, there's my Pittsburgh people. What happened? So she has cell service because everyone up there, of course, like knows how to help self-service nowhere. She calls back to the restaurant, gets one of the guys to come out and change my tire.
Oh,
And then
how nice.
And then she followed us back into town to make sure we got there okay.
Small town people are not as scary as you think they are.
No, it was amazing and it was wild. And in the morning I walked over to the auto shop in town, and they were like, we don't keep tires here. And
why would we have tires?
But they were like, but we'll look at your donut and make sure it's like safe to get out to like a Walmart, And as I'm talking to them, the other waitress that was working there drives by and is like, what happened? I'm like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, it was
That's why those secrets always circulate real fast in the small towns. You're just going to see everybody.
The kids from Pittsburgh blew their tire. That's the story.
Suzanne was
paying them for the next 20 years.
Oh, it will. My friend was like, do you think someone did something to your tire? Because I have like Kamala bumper stickers and shit. And I was like, no, I don't think that these are old tires and they would have gone.
I think I'm poor. And I
that's exactly
change the tires as often as I should.
That's exactly what it was. I needed to change all 4 of them. So,
Poor Cliff.
Irene, what's the most gay pirate thing that's happened to you recently?
I went to see Con's screening of his short film that he wrote and started.
Did you get a chance to talk to him?
I did, yeah. We had a nice chit chat. There was a few other our flag fans that were there, and I did get a chance to make an absolute idiot of myself. Always with the blurting. The gentleman that starred in the film with him apparently used to be an undertaker.
Wow.
And so I found that incredibly exciting. That's
I would have too.
And so what I do is literally yell out, because Con's mentioning it in something with a conversation with someone, and I just scream, my laundry room's crematory themed. It's called the Cleanatorium, and it's full of funeral parlor art.
Yes!
My husband's vintage collection. And just these giant eyes sort of look over at me, and Con just goes, that's Irene. Yeah, and I'm like, hi.
That's one of mine.
and actually at that point I said something like, well, there's my new hyperfixation transferred. And Con goes, Con who? It was very fun, and I scared one of the actors. It was a great film. I hope you guys get to see it. I hope it does some other stuff here. It was, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's breathtaking.
Yeah, Krill was on the Gay Pirate News Hour yesterday, so they mentioned
Irene,
a little bit about it.
I will ask you the same question I asked Krill. What AO3 tags would you give Con's film?
Angst, pretty solid angst there.
They said hurt, no comfort, age gap, and dubcon, I think.
I think all of those are very appropriate. Yeah,
because
definitely.
Of course, this fucking con doesn't give us some happy queer story.
No. I love that he's always like, I love beautiful queer love stories. Anyways, here's what I wrote.
Yeah, I just want art of Hizzy holding someone's hand. And
then he's like, hey, do you want to be really uncomfortable for a big chunk of time? And I just went, I flew out here.
Yeah, you did. You knew it was coming.
I knew what I was doing. Yeah. But no, it was amazing, and he should be very proud of himself. And the audience also was very receptive. I do love that they made the kids leave the room before they screened it. That was my favorite.
Did they?
Oh wow!
They did.
The under 18.
They kicked children out. Yeah,
oh my god!
Yeah, and it was great for me too, because I thought if I was in that audience and I was underage, there's no way I'd be leaving. And so I was wondering if there were any kids hiding in the back. That's what I would have done.
Oh my god, how funny.
I love that.
Yeah, it was great though.
Nice.
So my gay pirate thing is, after recording Gay Pirate News Hour yesterday, I went to get a veggie burger, and as I'm biking down the street, I see Samba and his and his wife walking down the street.
Funny.
That's just so you.
I just can't avoid these people. They're everywhere.
I was going to get a burger next to their house that I know.
It's complete coincidence. That just happens to be the best burger place.
I was riding my bike in circles for 3 hours.
Oh man, Samba's following you around LA.
It's true.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Samba macaroni and cheese class.
Yes, Samba's
literally had me at cheese. Do you want cheese?
Absolutely.
And I'm like, I do.
I do. Yeah.
And that's on the 9th. So
that is this coming Saturday.
Y'all should sign up. And
this episode will not be out by then.
No.
Well, I hope you enjoyed making
I hope you had lots of good cheese, and I hope you all came to my Calypso party.
It's been a while since we've done a validation from strangers on the internet. So this comment was on our YouTube channel on my little Gay Pirate Tarot video that I did weeks ago. And this is Jazz Loves Latte 318 says, okay, I'm usually listening to your voice on the podcast. It was good to pair a face with your voice. Thank you. My second favorite podcast, you can guess number one. And I am thrilled that I'm your second favorite podcast, that we are your second favorite podcast.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We hope to never be number one because number one should always be the cryptid factor. This is the fandom lore episode, and we're going to kick things off talking about Ass Tonight.
Yes.
This is going to be our PhD dissertation about Ass Tonight,
and
the origins.
Have the celebrity that made it all happen. We have Ass Tonight herself.
Take us back in time to 2023, or did it begin earlier? Because
no, it was the night of the finale.
Yeah, but when did we know? When did we first hear that?
When
there was going to be an ass?
Actually, he told us about it at the strike.
Yes.
And he was like, I get my ass out in the thing. And we all were like, ha ha, that's funny. And he was like, no, I get my ass out.
So I have.
So this is June 2023. You all are at the WGA picket where they had the Our Flag Means Death Day. And David Jenkins is there. Alex Sherman is there.
Alex Sherman brought the flag. The actual, like, hero prop Our Flag Means Death flag.
Somebody was like, didn't know who he was and was like, oh, did you make that? And he was like, no, this is the one from the show.
Amazing. Yeah, that was a really great day. That strike was amazing. And I mean, not just support all of the strike stuff, but
that was the day that David Jenkins did a spit take when someone asked him if he supports Rizzy.
And then David asked, what's Rizzy?
And he said, what's Rizzy? But he did a literal spit take.
The literal spit take, I'm literally standing next to him when that happened. I didn't do the asking, but I was standing next to him.
Did you like run over?
You're in the splash zone.
The scene. Get in for our outside LA crowd. So this is at Warner Brothers, and this is along Olive Avenue, which is a long stretch of road that goes into, whatever hills. There's like a hill up there, but we got Warner Brothers Studios on one side of the road, and then on the other side of the road, there's parking structure, there's grassy area, and they're doing they have the whole group of people in costume and our favorite writers and directors. It's a sunny day, and I believe there a cow that day.
There a cow?
The cow.
Was there a cow?
The cow.
If there was a cow, I missed it.
I haven't heard about the cow.
I want the cow.
I thought the cow was there that day, but maybe the cow came another day.
Is this a live cow?
Yeah.
No, there was not a live cow. I would 100% remember live cow.
A small miniature cow?
I mean, Irene, I think you would remember a dead cow too.
Okay.
I thought someone dressed as a cow. I thought maybe there was the 2-person costumes like they do the horses and the cows.
What a message into Warner Brothers if they put a dead cow outside their
They just drag a corpse out and leave it in the street, and they're like,
give us our fucking rights.
So David Jenkins is there, Alex Sherman is there, you guys are all
Adam Stein is there.
Adam Stein is there. You guys are all hanging out talking. There's a costume contest. There is which Lacey Bond won the costume contest, another co-host.
And Gail, hey, Gaily Renee online. She was given the conch shell by David Jenkins as his favorite costume. And she was Jeffrey
Torres.
That's great.
So good. She had a Imodium or something.
She had Imodium. She had little poo emojis, and
it was so good.
like the goodness of it was that it was extremely like low rent. Like it wasn't, there was no, she wasn't passing as a horse.
It was like, oh shit, I gotta have him. What am I gonna be?
And it was amazing. It's the greatest thing. And also too, I love the fact that Dominic Burgess was like, that costume's amazing. He wasn't there, but he like later was like, oh, I know Gail.
He's so like excited when someone does anything with his character. It's adorable. I love him.
Yeah, and he is, by the way, Dominic Burgess has been booked and busy, and
he has.
Every single show I watch, I'm like, oh, there's Jeffrey Fettering again.
Yes, Jeffrey.
Yeah. I'm excited for season 2 of Palm Royale. I really enjoyed the first season of that. It was really fun.
Yeah,
I hope he gets more to do.
So we set up the scene and then describe the circumstances to where Alex Sherman reveals that his ass is going to be bare on the show.
You know, we were asking like what they could tell us, what was coming up, and he was just like, I get my ass out. And we all laughed thinking that was a joke. And then he was like, seriously, I want people to see my ass on the show. And we still weren't 100% certain that was a joke until later. And so I started asking him on Twitter, ass tonight? Like, is it tonight? Every time an episode would air.
So I have this screen grab from September 27th. So this would have been before season 2 started airing, where someone wrote to him and said, are you alluding to some peach emoji cameo maybe? And he just put a smiley face. And then he said, is this the kind of situation where we're really going to have to be looking hard for it? Or will it be obvious? And he said, when it's all said and done, some will say it's the emotional and structural turning point of the entire series, a crack, if you will, separating some major journeys. I guess what I'm saying is you'll notice it. So that was when we all started believing him, I think, like people who weren't at that thing and didn't realize he was like
he was dead serious and very excited about it. And he had this dream to moon as many people as possible at one time, that it was like his goal. He accomplished that.
A childhood thing? Like, hadn't he been mooning people since childhood?
You know, I don't know that much about Alex Sherman's ass and his release. I'm not saying I don't want to, because it's a fascinating subject. I'm sure we could, like you said, write a full dissertation.
Okay,
but you're saying that this is an investigation for like
this is another podcast later. Just how long?
If I ever get a chance to interviewing, I'll be like, how long have you been wanting to moon people? How much mooning have you done in your life? Have you ever talked to a therapist?
How many people saw your ass that night? How many people did you successfully moon? Like,
so many.
Have you been in touch with Guinness Records?
So on Twitter, Irene, you had been asking Ask Tonight.
Yes, I've been asking Ask Tonight. So there's I can't remember what the original meme is, but there's a meme that's in one of my group chats that we use all the time that says like, blank tonight, queen, blank tonight. And we usually use it for X-Files because we're like old and putting on X-Files and falling asleep. And so then when I just went ask tonight ting.
Yeah.
And then promptly closed my phone up and didn't actually, see anything. And I had ended up being in an event all day. There was, again, with a strike, there was a benefit that I was going to. And so my phone was off. Like I had it off. And then when I turned it back on, it was like
notifications were going wild.
I sent like a billion screen grabs of everyone had changed their Twitter usernames to Ask Tonight. Like it was scrolling down my Twitter feed, like everybody was named Ask Tonight.
A variation of Ask Tonight.
Yeah. And did it blow up because Alex Sherman then at that point said Ask Tonight?
Ask Tonight. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure that was the impetus. We were all very excited. But finally.
I have all these memes saved from that. And there's one of like Black Pete saying, I didn't even realize there was Ask Tonight happening. And there's one of Wee John saying, what the hell's Ask Tonight? And there's a director's chair on the set that says Ask Tonight. We got, I'd come to your Ask Tonight. The plan is Ask Tonight. That guy does a lot of Ask Tonight. Find me when Ask Tonight isn't living rent free in your head.
And so I want Irene, the moment when you were watching that episode,
that'll be my brand.
Alex Sherman's bare bottom.
Yeah.
Yes.
What emotions were going through your head and your body? And what happened?
A lot of autism, a lot of screaming out loud. I did scream ass tonight and pointed. My husband found it far less exciting than I did. Yeah, I
So
you know,
funny.
it was one of those things that we had heard about it for so long. It had been hinted at. We didn't know. And we also didn't know if it was going to be the full-on, full-ass, double-cheeked, moon-tastic, full moon.
Entire ass.
I just thought it was
Bent
going to be
over,
like in the
ass out.
background somewhere.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
it
I
was like
expecting.
close
Same.
But I remember too,
Lovingly
around
lit.
that same time, I want to say that he had retweeted it, and it was talking about how a lot of things hadn't happened yet in the show, and we were saying, you know, when are they gonna do this? When are we gonna see them? And someone just went, "We're running out of time. Show hole."
Show hole. And he liked that. And then he was like,
Remember-
look at Alex Sherman liking this tweet. And he wrote, it is my favorite.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I don't remember who wrote Show Hole, but whoever did, you were a genius.
Oh,
I
I
hope
have it
I
somewhere.
don't have you blocked.
And then, like, way afterwards, after the strike was over and season 2 is over and everything, and Samba's putting out all the best stuff, we got that great video of Alex in his, like, costume sitting backstage while they're all, like, in green rooms and stuff. And he's telling them, no, this is what's happening. Like, we're actually going to just show my ass close up. And they're all, like, hearing it for the first time. And Khan is, like, enthralled by this. He just is like staring at him like
So happy.
like we're gonna take all kinds of pictures of your ass. He's like so excited about it.
Yes,
What a dork.
that's our dork. That's why we love him. Because
So
if
good.
we were in that room, we'd be making the same face.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing. So before we move, I'm glad we devoted like the first 30 minutes of this podcast to Ask Night. I think
It's worth it. It's worth it. Of
I
all of
think-
them, it's the one that's always in my mind.
it'd be great. We
is.
should just name
Oh.
this episode the Ask Tonight episode.
That's
So-
Yeah.
Yes. The
Tonight
person
King.
who wrote is named Kira, and their handle is at Bart Beard, but there's a 3 in it. BART B3.
You guys, listen, you need to stop making really complicated profile names and handles.
That's the person who tweeted, "Can we take it slow?" No, there's 3 eps left. Show hole.
Show hole.
Then
Very proud of that person.
put the picture of Alex's likes, and he said, "Yeah, my favorite tweet all season."
Yeah, it is truly a masterpiece. Good job, Bart Beard.
Mhm.
I don't have you blocked. I'm very
Well,
glad.
Nice.
I feel
nice.
like there's only 3 eps left. Show hole was kind of like everyone, like no matter who your
Mhm.
favorite was, that was
Yeah.
what we were all thinking.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were like, so when does this
For
get
real, though.
resolved? And for a lot of things, it was just like, it doesn't
It doesn't.
rise.
Like we got to see Con Snips, and
Saw con snips and Alex's butt, and
yeah,
you know,
and honestly,
Yeah.
we
Who
can
said that?
tell that
Oh,
was the,
that's
that was
Peggy.
the
Peggy's been
right
talking
direction
this
on
whole
those.
time.
Wait, you were talking over
sorry.
Irene. Irene was saying something really profound.
Oh,
Was
sorry.
I said we got to see Con Snips and we got to see Alex's ass, and that was the correct way. If you reverse those, it would have been a very different story.
oh
And,
yeah, for sure.
it would have
true.
been
Weird
that-
for everyone.
that peachy rounds, and
And
you
then
know, Con,
later
but
we
he
got to
doesn't
see
have an ass.
Khan's ass when he was posting his BTS.
I feel like he felt left out, and I feel like he's like, I'll show you my butt too.
Yeah, yep.
That's my favorite thing about this whole cast is they're all insane and they're just like us.
We are insane and they match our insanity and sometimes
Truly,
elevate it to new heights.
Yes, they egg us on. They like
turn it into
to.
art.
Yeah, they add fuel to the fire.
We have a whole long list of other fandom lore to cover. If you guys are looking at this list, what should we cover next?
Let's see. Also, you might hear my smaller cat meowing in the background because it's close to their supper time. And so she's just wandering around meowing, and she'll continue to
Didn't
do
hear
that.
until that one time, and it was like meow. It was right after we said Izzy's tits and Alex's ass. She was like meow,
Which is the
Sorry.
proper reaction.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
No. She's a woman of taste.
You know what? Since we talked about this a little bit yesterday on the Gay Pirate News Hour, the thing where Steed and Ed call each other friend often, but then there's all these cutscenes where they call each other by pet names and
They
friend and stuff, and Zaddy and boyfriend, whatever, which, but yeah, it's like in the show, they're always like, he is my friend, and you whatever, you tortured my friend and stuff like that. And Izzy is the only one in the show that calls them boyfriends.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's true.
Boyfriend.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
And do you think that is because of business reasons or creative choice reasons or other reasons?
I don't know, because clearly they had some in the script and filmed them using, other names for each other. So it's interesting as to why that got cut out. Like, I understand why Zaddy got cut out, but
I feel like maybe it's just, in the final edit, it just is one of those things that, for whatever reason, those weren't the cuts that made the cut, I guess. Yeah.
Because that new, for you two who weren't on the Gay Pirate News Hour, I don't know if you heard about, what was the line, Carly? What was the whole line? It was just babe at the end?
No, it was, I love that, actually, babe. That was what Steed said.
Would have been like the last line of the show, basically.
It would have been the last line of the show. Yeah. And I think, I'm in general a big fan of the BTS I've seen. I understand why that didn't end up in the show for pacing reasons and whatnot. But that last line where Steed calls Ed babe, I'm like, that was actually really good. And that would have been nice in the show.
Yeah.
How about you?
Interesting when they choose to cut. There's always so many things that when I see cutscenes that I'm like, why didn't you that's like 2 seconds that, and so
sometimes it's about the emotional flow of an edit and it just doesn't work for the flow or whatever.
Yeah.
But for that particular line, it was the last of the episode. And I think it would have.
I feel like some of the choices that were made feel a bit rushed to me. It feels like the editors were having to go very fast. The whole thing feels very rushed. And so I feel like that has an impact on sort of little moments like that when you sort of you don't have the time sort of
to breathe,
to breathe and to sit back and sort of and to let the piece itself breathe. And so and so I feel like that creates that sense of, I don't know, kind of abruptness that I often get from season 2. And so I don't know how deliberate that sort of cutting out was. And because it feels like something that might just happen as you're sort of going quickly and trying to turn out the best thing you can in the very small amount of time you've been allotted.
I think it wouldn't be so weird if there weren't many instances of them calling each other my friend.
Yeah.
It's weird when they...
Notey. Sounds like a note.
Yeah. Just when they have said I love you to each other and other people have referred to them as your boyfriends and stuff like that. But and even in the beginning of season 2, when Auntie and Zang are talking about oh, you dumped him and he, whatever, and we're on a break and stuff like that. And then in the Calypso's birthday episode, Steed says to Ned something you hurt my friend or something like that. He uses the word friend, which I'm at this point.
That moment when Steve said that to Ned, I was a little that's a weird choice.
It is weird. And then I mean, Ed saying it to Jack in season 1 is not as weird.
Yeah.
Ed and Steed both are idiots and don't realize what's going on at that point. But I just feel like it's odd all that.
What else would you have in that line to Ned have Steed say?
I mean, wouldn't it have been interesting at that point if he'd said you hurt my boyfriend?
Yeah.
Or even if they wanted to have that tension, they could have a hesitation and you hurt my Ed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then, I don't know, if he would have used some term of endearment for him or
sweetheart, you hurt my sweetheart.
Yeah, that's not friend. It would have
cute.
made it feel a lot better when they went and fucked right after that.
Yeah.
Right after Ed had said, I want to take it slow. And Ed's I want to take it slow. Steve's this is my buddy. And then they're having sex.
And Izzy going maybe give it a minute. It's kind of not a great mood right now.
Messy.
Yeah, actually, actually talking this through, I really think sweetheart was the word that needed to be there. Sweetheart.
My sweetheart.
My sweetie.
My beau.
My darling.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to something else. See, Calico Jack survival probability.
So 100%. 100%.
Oh, yeah. Like, everyone believes that Calico Jack is alive. And he's going to come back and see.
The Canyon part of the fandom firmly believes that. I am really disappointed that we didn't even, aside from Hornigold mentioning Calico Jack, Anne and Mary didn't, I was really waiting for there to be some kind of Anne and Mary, discussion around Jack. Wouldn't it have been, I do like that they're just crazy and they're just let's fuck with these guys. But I think it would have been really funny if they knew who Steed was and were like, you're the guy that got our husband killed and let's fuck with you.
Just call him Steve.
Yeah, right?
That would have been fantastic. Oh, hey, Steve.
Yeah, amazing. So good.
I do like the one of the things that breaks my heart about the show is that we never got a scene of Calico Jack and Izzy together.
I know, isn't that wild? It's one of the biggest ships. And
it's one of the biggest ships.
They never have a scene together.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of what the fandom did with the single fucking line where Jack mentions Izzy. I'm so proud of us.
Yeah. Just he did a nice thing for Izzy. He's his simp and he's him.
But he called him a sentimental bastard, and he did it with this just hint of soft affection that was in such contrast to the rest of what we had seen from that character that it became
this is actually something that I love, because so often in fanfic when people are writing it, they're writing it for non-canon pairings because because they're being queer baited, because they're not they're playing that will they or won't they thing. And Ed and Steed were pretty close from the beginning, and it was obvious that they were endgame and it was all that thing. So I love the fact that we went, fine, we'll make a huge ship of two characters that don't even have a scene together. And I think that was the thing that we were getting.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
Also partially because those two are characters that are actual historical figures that knew each other in real life. I think that drives it partially.
And obviously boned in real life.
Obviously. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Izzy was very young.
I think every pirate fucked every other pirate.
But the Canyon there's no question about it. He has survived that giant ass cannonball. I feel like the fanfic that I read is kind of half and half on whether he survives or not, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I think if people don't want to write him into the fic or don't want to have to add him for make up a story for him, they're just oh, it was sad that Jack died.
He's dead.
I feel like a lot of the ones that don't want to deal with him just won't mention him.
Yeah.
Well, I've been reading a lot of things lately where Izzy is thinking over the whole thing with the Navy and everything. So I guess in the stuff I've been reading, he is contemplating Jack and oops, didn't mean to get him killed. Oh, well, because I do, and I've said this on this show before, I do believe that canon TV show canon Izzy can't fucking stand Jack. In my heart, I believe that.
But that makes it better, because then Jack is bouncing after him like Pepe Le fucking Pew, and that's amazing.
And that's how we absolutely 100% all relate to Jack, because we're hey, I love you, Izzy, and Izzy would be like, get fucked, leave me alone.
Yes, and we're just bouncing along in a trail of hearts.
Calico Jack.
But as a stizzy truther, I especially Peggy knows. I love the idea that this is something that bonds Izzy and Steed. It's we have fucking nothing in common except for our love for Ed and our hatred of Calico Jack.
By the way, this is a nice mention. Tessa, you weren't here yesterday on Gay Pirate News Hour, but we want to do a stizzy episode, and you, Ringa, and Irene.
Krill wants to be involved too, but yes.
And Krill, yeah. So you four, do it.
We will.
Since I'm going down the list, I'm just saying this because Ringa put it on the list. Izzy survival probability.
Well, no, that's no contest. Yeah.
1,000%.
We all agree 100%. Is he still alive?
Of course. Yeah. Or resurrected. That's totally fine. I have a headcanon that Spanish Jackie knows somebody from the bayou. that like comes and resurrects him, because that's what I want, and that's how my head's gonna be. So
that is actually a really good idea.
With Buttons.
Oh yeah, that would be a good friend for Buttons.
Yeah,
or Buttons himself can come pull Izzy out of out of the gravy basket wherever the fuck he is. But I think that it's kind of split on, of course, the antis are like, no, he's dead. And then we have a lot of people who think he's dead and would come back as a ghost. And in fact, that's something Khan has said at a panel.
Well, Khan said that he's coming back with white hair.
Well, he did say in one panel specifically, like, I know people like the idea of Izzy coming back as a ghost, and that would have been fun to do. And I agree, that would be fun to do. As Tessa said in a Discord, where you and I forget who else was the other person, that were like, it would be great if there was one Izzy ghost figure that was tormenting Ed and a different one that was tormenting Steed.
Yes.
And they could like high five each other as they like clocked on and off. And and it would like Telltale Hearts style, like, and Ed and Steed are not telling each other because they both think the other one will think they're crazy.
I actually think it would be really great if there was Ghost Izzy that only Steed could see.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Wouldn't that be great? And so Steve having to like actually like relate to Izzy a little bit more.
Yeah.
And Izzy, you know, being like, this is how you get Ed. Like, this is what he likes. He likes this, you know?
And then he just shows up next to them while they're
Irene, you have all the best ideas. Like all these ideas, I'm like, oh my God. The bio.
You can hire me. I would love to work on season 3 when we get paid.
Please.
I second that. I'm like, everything Irene is saying, I'm like, yes, that's great. Do that.
Yeah. But I mean, there are, of course, like a whole bunch of theories about he either will, yes, be resurrected, not a ghost, or that the whole thing was a fuckery, and either everyone was in on it and they just wanted like Ricky and everybody to think Izzy's dead, or the crew is in on it, but not Ed and Steed.
That would be great.
They are being protective of Izzy, and so want Ed and Steed to think he's dead because everything crazy has happened around them, and they take their new unicorn, put him on the ship, have a fake burial.
Like they did the first time. Yeah. Like there is canon evidence of that. Hey, remember when they put him in that room? And they're like, yeah, I shot him. He's dead.
Right. Yeah. They did that. Yeah, they did that early in the season.
They've already done it. So like do it again.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. But
death certificate and then
right. The oldie death certificate.
Ye old
pirate death certificate. Because I just like, despite time constrictions and rewrites and whatever, it just like really, really will piss me off to know definitively that they fucking buried Izzy Hands on the land.
Oh,
like,
how dare.
But with his leg.
Don't bury a fucking pirate on the ground. And then, all the weird like stuff, because that's going to get stolen real quick. All the ring,
his ring,
the fucking sword. So I feel like it has to be some kind of fuckery for show.
Yeah, and like, hey, look, we really buried him here. Look at all this stuff.
Izzy Hands.
Yeah. And then there's the fanfics where he literally crawls out of the grave because they didn't check if he was dead enough. Because I could also see that crew being like,
they're real dumb.
He hasn't blinked in a while. He's probably dead. And then like drags himself like bloody and muddy onto Ed and Steed's door.
I thought it would be. Oh, sorry. I thought it would be really beautiful if Izzy has gone from obviously being the greatest swordsman in the Caribbean to being kind of beat the hell up. Like he was doing okay with one leg.
Yeah.
But he's now like one leg and missing a kidney and wherever he got shot.
We don't even know what that thing does.
We don't even know what that thing does. I thought it would be really beautiful to have him be like the ship's bard, like the ship's entertainer. That would be like his new role, and he would like
okay.
I would love to see him like training people. Like
I think he would go nuts if he didn't have like an active role in making sure things were happening. Though, don't you think?
This is why I think he like. If he was teaching people how to fight and stuff,
that would be very cool.
I could just see his like forehead twitching as like somebody does something wrong next to him, and he's like,
it would be a lot of him going, that's not my job anymore, and I'm going to let it go, and I'm not going to freak out about it. And it would last for like 30 seconds, and then he would be screaming back onto the thing, yelling at them, going, all right, here's where you fucked up.
Yes. I feel like, I mean, if we're going with things that we sort of can work from based on what we saw in the show, like, I mean, I wondered if, because they have the seagull, of course, land on the grave marker.
Right, which is like massive symbolism.
Yeah. And I mean, like, yeah, and could just literally be buttons.
Right.
And so I really wondered if sort of like the intention, if they were to do a third season, would then just be to like sort of have that sequence of sort of buttons going into the gravy basket and having that kind of sort of like resurrection process, especially, you know, with buttons saying to Ed, you know, I've been down there a few times myself and all of the magic shit. So that's
also Buttons and Izzy are great together. Like they
are.
Yeah, and then you have like the two first mates.
They're the two first mates. There's no problems. Like literally, Izzy like asks him a question and like listens and likes, like, you know, gives him respect. Yeah. And the two of them just are like, cool, first mates doing our jobs. And also there's that little thing of Izzy going like, yeah, I'm not going to fuck with that guy. Like that guy knows what he's about.
Buttons and Jim are like the two people that Izzy respects on that ship because Jim is like not to be fucked with, and Buttons, despite being absolutely insane, like knows what he's doing on the sea and
he'll bite you.
Knows how to take this ship and like make it run, you know. But
Buttons is a very good first mate.
He is.
He like keeps Steed alive, where he's like, "Hey, bad news. There's going to be a mutiny. You should probably like get on that."
And where he's like, "There's giant ass ships." Like, you know, he's very good at what he did. He comes and wakes him up like, "Oh, there's a what does he say? There's something witchy.
There's something witchy afoot."
Yeah, and Steed says, witchy, but you know what would be interesting is if he goes to the gravy basket and he meets Jack there as his person, like Ed had Hornigold, and he
could be so annoyed with Jack. That would be
right. Now it'd be interesting because he'd know right away that he's somewhere. Like Ed didn't realize he was like kind of dead for a while, right? But Izzy would be like, "Oh hell, here we go.
I'm in the gravy basket."
While that's going on, Buttons shows up to rescue him from what's going on here. Yes. And wouldn't that be interesting? Because that's how you can get Calico Jack back without pretending he didn't get killed by a cannonball directly to the face.
We didn't see it hit his face.
Well, that's true. And
he doesn't keep anything important up there.
Even if it did, that wouldn't have stopped them from pulling him back into the realm of the living. But
So have you all read any fics that address some of the things that we've been talking about today?
Well,
any ass tonight king fics.
Are there ass tonight?
I read a lot of fics with ass
for myself that I don't share with other people. Self-insert. What is it? Alex Sherman's ass OC.
Oh, Chuck Tingle style. Style.
Oh my god.
Alex Sherman's ass was king of the sea and the talking dinosaurs.
Pounded in the butt by the anthropomorphic representation of Alex Sherman's butt.
Well, pounded in the butt by my own butt is kind of an ass tonight situation.
It is an ass tonight situation.
Yeah.
And what about Rex that address Izzy coming back from the dead? Calico Jack, some Calico Jack Izzy shipping happening, some CJ Izzy recommendations.
This one is quite sweet. So it's called In the End, I'd Do It All Again by Sugary Bull and Wishing on a Lightning Bolt, or Sugary Bull, Wishing on a Lightning Bolt. I don't understand how things work. But it's actually, so this is a modern AU. The premise is that Izzy and Jack have had this kind of long-standing thing where sort of whenever Izzy and Ed fall out, he'll turn up at Jack's place and like they'll drink together and fuck, and he feels better, and then he fucks off. And this is sort of like a case where he and Ed have really properly broken up, and he turns up. Jack's like, I don't actually have time for this. I have to, like, he's not like being mean about it, but he's like, I'm going to my son's graduation. And Izzy's like, you have a son? And then it just turns out that like Jack has had this entire fucking life that Izzy doesn't know about. But it's quite sweet as he kind of realizes that like this is not the person who he knew when they were like 19 and that Jack's actually aged. Yeah.
What's that called again?
In the End, I'd Do It All Again by Sugary Bowl, Wishing on a Lightning Bolt. And I will drop that in the chat.
Thank you. That sounds fascinating. Ringa or Irene, did you guys find any?
Hold on, I'm almost there.
I have one that's we'll call it specialist. It's the warnings on it are rough choking and bruises.
Hell yeah.
It's called Crawling. That's the name of it. And it's by Crad, C-R-A-D. And Izzy loves hoodie weather. Izzy loves Jack. Jack loves Izzy. That's why he hurts him. It's good.
Excellent.
All right. And I found one too. Mine is called Home Beside the Sea. And it's by Alex 51324. And it is very short, but it's like a post season 2 fix it. And it is Ed and Izzy talking next to Izzy's grave about why they faked Izzy's death.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Peggy likes that too.
Peggy has been waiting for 10 minutes past her supper time. Peggy is over my
dare.
bullshit.
We should wrap this up so that Peggy can get fed. Anyone want to shout out something that is coming up or that you're looking forward to?
Yes. Wait. Sorry. I got very excited. My drag mother is going to be on Drag Race Canada.
Yay!
Watch fucking Canada's Drag Race and cheer for Oh My God, or I'll find you.
Oh my God, is amazing.
Yes. Well, by the time this happens, Calypso's birthday will be over here in Pittsburgh, but I will have the Pornathon coming up in December. By the time this airs, either prompts will still be open for it or tickets will be open for it. So, it's a win-win situation. You can go to heraldshaunt.oo. It's just HAROLDSHAUNT.OOO. That is where you can find information about the Pornathon.
It's amazing. Really fast, I will be at Airport Con. It should be fun. It might be insane. Who knows? I've never done it.
Is that this month?
The November before Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
It was real fast. And I've never done a Star Fury convention. I've heard things, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, they've been going for a while, so they can't be the worst.
And you can find me and possibly Tessa too soon, and possibly Ringa soon as well on the Haunted Hollywood Hour, our other podcast, which drops every Thursday, where we tell you 100% real, true stories from Hollywood history that are paranormal and or spooky. And you can find that wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Haunted Hollywood Hour. And we are the Our Flag Means Fanfiction podcast. And you can follow us on Instagram at Our Flag Means Fanfiction, all one word. Until next time, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.